Olga, thanks very much for joining us from Ukraine. Um, just give us a little more information about some of the initiatives, I guess, that are happening there in the Ukraine.
Actually, in Ukraine, a new law recently was passed on support to substantial investments in Ukraine. So basically, it says if you invest in Ukraine 20 million euros and more, you would be allowed to special state support from Ukraine. First of all, you would be allowed to compensation of up to 30% of your investments. It can be done in many ways, like in tax support or support like material support with infrastructure and something else. And also there is another interesting thing that each investor would be allocated with special manager, so-called investment nanny, to navigate through Ukrainian bureaucracy. So basically, you would have all the favorable conditions to work in Ukraine nowadays. And personally, I do believe that it's unique initiative and unique opportunity to come to this Ukrainian market, which is unknown to many of investors.
How do you see this initiative working, particularly in terms of the ESG side?
I do believe, Richard, that it would be an important step in promoting ESG in Ukraine, first of all. You know that we are a post-Soviet Union country with some kind of post-Soviet Union corporate governments still in some of Ukrainian corporations and in private and states in public sector as well. Also, we had some issues with environmental issues after Chernobyl disaster, and we are still facing some problems with that. So we do believe that this initiative under the supervision of the president under the highest level, on the top level, would just be good for promoting ESG, because according to the law and according to the spirit of this law, the best world practices should be implemented in Ukraine with these kinds of investments. And I do hope, Richard, that we in PwC would be able to assist our clients in these initiatives and in further investments. One more thing, which is just tip from my side, Ukraine nowadays is very flexible in terms of innovation and modernization of our country. We have new president who never was involved in politics, and so he's very open to the best world practices. That's why I do believe that this law would enable, on the one hand, it would help investors here in Ukraine. It does create a good investment environment. And on the other hand, it would help Ukrainian state, not only because of the costs invested, but because of the general approach, very progressive ESG approach, which would be launched thanks to that.
And Olga, how important is I suppose regeneration in terms of the real estate side there in Ukraine?
Oh, you know, that is characteristic feature and very important thing about this investment law as well, because you can enjoy benefits of this law only in case you do regeneration, new construction, modernization of real estate objects here in Ukraine. And I think also you will get preemptive right to the land plot. So basically it would help in that as well.
Great, really interesting to see how these ESG elements are coming into and influencing more the Ukraine market. Thanks very much, Olga.
Thank you for having me.